It was shown in one of the possible futures that Kashin Koji saw through his Prescience Shinjutsu ability that Eida was successfully devoured by Mamushi and turned into a tree. Kashin Koji wants to avoid this future and is trying to guide events towards a future where this outcome does not happen by sharing the information he sees with his Prescience Shinjutsu. In this video, I'll explain the possible reasons why Kashin Koji is so eager to save Eida, to help you Boruto fans understand Kashin Koji's deeper intentions and what he truly wants. First, why does Mamushi want to devour Eida? After the 10 tails evolved into the divine trees using the chakra of the people who were devoured by Coast Law crimes and turned into trees, it was revealed that the 10 tails, now the divine trees, had gained self-awareness. This self-awareness made them seek understanding and intellectual curiosity by looking for new experiences that lead to new emotions and knowledge, which the divine trees themselves describe as information. Of course, the slowest way for them to gain this information is to live like human beings and learn through personal experiences, the experience of others, and by reading books. However, it was also revealed that the divine trees can instantly gain information and some of the answers they are searching for by devouring certain people. Because of this, each divine tree has a specific human target they want to devour in order to get the information they need to evolve. For Mamushi, Eida is his chosen target. While trying to understand why his instincts chose her, Mamushi came to the conclusion that he wants to devour Eida because he wants control and wants to make her superior genetic information his own. When he says genetic information, it is unclear whether he is referring to the information Eida gets through her Senragan eye, where she can see the present and gather information from different situations, people, and locations, as well as see everything that happened up to the age she was born, or whether Mamushi is referring to Eida's omnipotence ability, which allows her to influence reality. This is the reason why Mamushi attacked Konoha, to devour Eida, an outcome that became a reality in one of the possible futures Kashin Koji saw through his Prescience Shinjutsu. People are motivated by their own self-interest. So what is Kashin Koji's reason for wanting to save Eida? Well, the answer is tricky, and I can only speculate. Here are the possible self-interest Kashin Koji might have for wanting to save Eida. The first reason is that Eida helps Kashin Koji make up for the weaknesses of his Prescience Shinjutsu. The problem with Kashin Koji's Prescience Shinjutsu is that it shows him visions of what might happen, and it takes time to update him about any changes in real time. This means that before he receives a delayed update about the possible futures or changes to the futures he saw earlier, Kashin Koji has to keep track of everything that has happened. He needs to compare what actually took place with the many visions he saw when his Prescience Shinjutsu first gave him those possible futures, so he can understand which path, fate, or events are moving towards. What makes things even harder is that Kashin Koji does not know how things might change because he shares future information with other people, which may cause them to act differently and alter the future. This is where Eida becomes important. Eida helps Kashin Koji by using a Senragan eye to observe what is happening in the present and the past. She can then give this information to Kashin Koji, either in real time while missions are happening or during strategy talks and planning. Kashin Koji uses the information Eida gives him to understand what direction fate is heading in and whether things are happening according to the visions he saw with his Prescience Shinjutsu and the plans he set. This greatly reduces the time Kashin Koji would have needed if he had to figure out everything by himself, tracking events, comparing them to the visions he saw, and trying to understand the direction of fate. In a way, Eida helps Kashin Koji spend less time analyzing current events and allows him to plan more effectively. Because of this, Eida is definitely essential to Kashin Koji. The second reason is that Kashin Koji wants to avoid the danger Mamushi might create if he managed to devour Eida. It has already been shown that the divine trees can use the abilities of the people who were turned into trees after being devoured by the 10 tails, whose chakra the divine trees used to come into existence. For example, Hidari has access to Sasuke's abilities and chakra, Ryu had access to Shinki's abilities and chakra, and Matsuri had access to Moeki's abilities and chakra. So what would happen if Mamushi devoured Eida? He might gain access to Eida's Senragan eye and her omnipotence, the power to alter and influence reality. This will make Mamushi an even bigger threat because Eida's abilities are extremely powerful. Even worse, Kashin Koji will lose the advantage of having Eida on his side. This video is not meant to make Kashin Koji look like a bad person or someone who uses others. It is meant to show that there's always some kind of self-interest behind people's actions, whether those actions are good or bad. For example, my own interest with this channel is to help Boruto fans learn more about the story, the characters, and the themes explored in Boruto so that they can enjoy it as much as possible and clear up any misunderstandings created by Boruto haters.